Welcome to another episode of Jordans and Jazz. I'm your host, Juan Williams. And for those of you, again, that don't know me or are new to my show, I'm a musician and I teach music lessons with the focus on jazz, funk, hip hop, R&B. I also worked at an athletic shoe store, and that's really the start of my sneaker collection. Uh, So if you're a fan of music and you're a sneakerhead, you're definitely in the right place. Uh, Again, don't forget to subscribe to the Jordans and Jazz YouTube channel. Hit the bell for any notifications. Hit the like button on the video. Also, leave a comment down below about your thoughts on the topic, or if you want to, leave a comment on the album of the week or the kicks of the day. You can definitely do that too. Also, follow me on Instagram at Jordans and Jazz. Share your kicks of the day with me. Uh, Make sure you tag at Jordans and Jazz. Also, hashtag Jordans and Jazz with your kicks of the day. And go ahead and follow me on Twitter. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter. That's where I post my notifications on when I go live. I will be live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Again, on YouTube, I will be live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So make sure you follow my Twitter page for those notifications on when I'm going live. Or you can follow me also, again on Instagram. You can also get those notifications on Instagram too, and also again share your kicks of the day with me. Uh, if you're a musician and you're looking for any tips and tricks on, with your practice time, make you more efficient, go to my Patreon. On my Patreon page, I have the Jordans and Jazz lesson series where I give out, my tips and tricks on your practice time, or things to think about or things to practice. Maybe your teacher's not, giving you insight on some of this stuff. At my the Jordans and Jazz lesson series, I definitely got some good tips and tricks for you. So make sure, again, you go to the Patreon for the Jordans and Jazz lesson series. So today's show, uh, what I wanted to talk about today was some things going on in the music industry. Some things that they happened in the past, but they're coming up now. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was the what the issue between Joyner Lucas and Karen Civil and that situation. But before I do get into today's topic, I did want to share my album of the week. And so my album of the week is A Tribe Called Quest, the Low End Theory classic album. It's the 30th anniversary of A Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory. Uh, that's uh, that's one of my favorite albums. I mean, A Tribe Called Quest is one of my favorite uh, groups. Hip hop groups of all time. Uh, so definitely like that song, right? I mean, definitely the album is classic. We got the jazz. Uh, Check the rhyme. All these classic hip hop songs with samples, right? With samples. We talked about one of my last shows. I talked about samples. I I definitely samples. The samples that uh, these hip hop artists use. Created the soundtrack to my life. So I definitely enjoy enjoy music with these samples. But like I play my music a little bit differently with how I think about samples. Okay, so I did want to let's get back into the show with what's going on in the music business. And so Karen Civil, her name just started, it was popping up now. For if you don't know who Karen Civil is, you're probably like me. I really didn't know who she was or what she did. I heard the name before, but because she doesn't make any music, I really didn't pay attention. I was like, yeah, whatever. Joyner Lucas, he makes music. Cameron, he makes music. Uh, I think Meek Mill, uh, who I mean, she has been attached to many artists in the music industry. I didn't realize what she did. She's a multimedia strategist, right? Whatever that is. I mean, hey, she's making a living. I mean, she's done work with, not only on the political side but on the music business side. So there there has been other things. So what's been going on the past couple weeks, and what what really kind of snowballed this was uh Joyner Lucas confronting her about $60,000 he paid for her marketing strategy services or whatever it is. I mean, I don't know. Basically, she gets your stuff placed on uh, social media sites. So you paid her 60K to have your stuff posted on social media sites, and apparently he wasn't happy with the work that was done. Okay, and he was saying that she took 60K. Now there, I mean, the reason why this story was interest, why it interest or why I tried to follow it a little bit was I had a conversation with somebody, with a friend of mine, and I was talking about some of the things that you need to to help you be successful. Now with this being said, there's no guaranteed outcome, but there's three things that I notice with people that are successful. Okay, and so one thing I notice is they have talent. Okay, so people who are successful, I notice that they have talent. Uh, what's the second thing? I notice that they have a good work ethic, meaning that they're always going, they're always working, right? That's 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 the second thing. The third thing is they have a strategy, okay? Meaning that they have a plan, they put the work into that plan, and it revolves around their talent. Those are the three things that I normally see with people, okay? So Joyner Lucas paid Karen Civil for her strategy to be put in place, okay? And I so I questioned his lot. I mean, I don't question his logic. I understand why he did it, but I don't think the people around him really had a real strategy to why they did it or how they did it, because paying somebody $60,000 and the contract, apparently is only like 2 pages long. I'm like, wait a minute, you should have paid a lawyer to to have the contract look. You should have paid a lawyer to look over this contract before you gave out any money, because there's all kinds of, you got to make sure that there's processes put in place. So meaning that if this person's a consultant, I'm paying you. You're gonna bill me for the services that you provide. I'm just not gonna just pay you 60K up front. Okay, I I don't understand that. I don't understand me giving you 60K up front. Now you're gonna put a strategy in place. We're gonna talk about this strategy, right? We're gonna talk about this strategy that's that you're gonna put in place. I'm not gonna just go to you and say, hey, put in place the strategy that you gave to do what you did for me, what you did for Nipsey Hussle. Okay, well, that necessarily doesn't really work. One, you and Karen don't have the same relationship that maybe Karen and Nipsey Hussle had. Who is to say that Karen Civil thought that you had the talent that you thought you had, right? I mean, it's a little bit of arrogance that goes into it, right? I mean, you're an artist. I understand. You got to have some level of confidence and a little bit of delusion in your thinking, but that's why you need to have people around you to be to make sure that these things don't happen, because just because somebody did something for one person doesn't mean they're going to have the same level of energy no matter how much you pay them. It doesn't matter what you pay them. It doesn't mean that they're going to just go and do the same thing, right? That person maybe doesn't believe in you the same way that they believed in somebody else. Okay? And good thing for Joyner Lucas that he did end up, he has a good music career, and we're happy about that, right? But these are things that come up, and I think a lot of artists can really learn from some of the setbacks that Joyner had with working with people. Meaning that if you're gonna pay somebody something, and another okay, I want to get back to this. This was another thing that I remember that happened was in his tweet that he tweet in his tweet, he was saying that his back was against the wall, he was desperate, and she took advantage of him. Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. What did you think was going to happen? When you're desperate, you don't make the best decisions. And then when you don't make the best decisions, people will take advantage of that. People will take advantage of that. And you let her. And these are things. So if you're making decisions and you're not following your strategy, you're not following your plan and your process, and you're making decisions based on, you know, you're making decisions, you know, based on iffy information. People are going to take advantage of you, and that's what's going to happen. You know what? You're going to pay for it. That's what happens. So, do I agree with Karen Civil, maybe on the way that she represented herself to Joyner Lucas, and maybe she took advantage? No, I don't agree with it. But Joyner, like, that's what happens when you're talking about your. I mean, first of all, if you got 60 grand to pay somebody, I mean, is your back really against the wall? I mean, you're saying, hey, now this person apparently is very powerful in the music industry, right? She can, there's claims that she can make or break a career, right? And that was one thing that Jordan Lucas was nervous or was scared of. Was he was scared of being blackballed if he was to come out earlier and say something about Karen Civil, that because there, I mean, she I mean, there's another story that came out with this. Is she got the website Hollywood Unlocked taken down from Instagram, and that was really one of the main streams of revenue for that website was the Instagram platform. So there's I mean, that's a whole nother topic. That's something else. I mean, it has to deal with music a little bit, but I mean, there was other people that came out, like Cameron said that she took 60K from him. I just question some of the strategy behind what people are doing, right? Or they're following somebody else's strategy. Well, this, like I said, just because this strategy worked for one person, you got to remember that these people may not believe in you the same way that they believed in another person. Okay, sometimes people believe in that person's talent so much more than yours. And so just thinking that, oh, they're going to do the same work for me that they did for them is just not true. So you got to make sure that you have your safeguards put in place as an artist and your strategy so that you can create the best music possible that you need to create. Okay? So that's my take on this Joyner Lucas and Karen Civil situation. Make sure if you're an artist, make sure you protect yourself. Don't make decisions, out of the spur of the moment thing, or you're saying your back is against the wall, or you're desperate for something, right? Out of things that come out of desperation, you will be taken advantage of. Okay, so that's my show. Tell me what you think in the comments. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, right? Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at Jordans and Jazz. Also on Twitter at Jordans and Jazz. For my Patreon, support me on Patreon and check out the Jordans and Jazz lesson series. I got some tips and tricks for you musicians out there. Make sure you support me there. And again, I want you to make sure you keep your kicks fresh and your groove tight. Peace.